Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to change someone's life. Let's go. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 4. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be changing my client's life. Let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to comb my client's hair out. His hair texture is pretty much like, it's not like super curly, it's just shaggy. But when it's low, it's straight. It's weird. He's been on the channel before if you guys recognize him. I did him a few months back. He hasn't had a haircut since. But this time we're not going to do any C-cups. Last time we did C-cups, now we're not. So I have my caliber clippers. These are my new clippers. I have my 4-guard on there and the lever is fully closed. And I'm just going against the grain. And I'm just knocking all this hair down. He likes it short up top with a bald fade. So that's what we're going to do. Now you guys are going to notice once I wash his hair, the hair texture is going to go completely straight. I didn't add any product. I just simply shampooed it and conditioned it. So you guys are going to see. Sometimes in instances like this, you just have to wash the hair. You see how the hair, when it's knocked down and it's low, it's still patchy. That's what comes when you're cutting with curly hair like this, shaggy hair. It's always going to be patchy when you cut it low. So I highly recommend washing your client's hair. It just allows for a cleaner canvas to finish the haircut with. Definitely recommend it. Once the hair is knocked down, you want to go through and make sure you knocked all the areas down to an even length. Sometimes certain areas can like hold more hair than others. So you just want to knock everything down. So this is how it looks after I washed it. I didn't put no cream, no hot towel, nothing. I just washed it. So it went completely straight. Now we're going to start on the fade. I have my detachables with my 5-out blade. And I'm just setting in my mid-fade guideline. It's going to be pretty much like a mid-fade with a slight drop in the back. Now the reason why this fade, it's going to be easy. For me, this fade is going to be easy. For most barbers, this will be easy. But for a beginner barber, this fade will be a little tricky just because of the indentations in his head. So we're going to talk about that once I do the back of his head more. He has a lot of indentations, which can kind of make the fade look patchy, but it's really not. So we cleared out all that bulk under that. We used our shavers, and now we're going up with our lever open. But notice how I'm leaving the hair near his vertical bar, just because I want to get that with the 1-guard so we can keep it dark. I went up about 1 inch, grabbed my 1-guard, went up 1 inch too. And right under that, I'm going to drop back down and close the lever fully. And we're going to begin to debulk the top. So since the top was a 4, I'm just going to grab my 3-guard, just run it through real quick. It ain't really going to do much. Just going to get it ready for the 1.5 and the 2. Now, usually I would take my 2, but this time I just decided to go with my 1.5 guard. I like to switch up my techniques when I'm bored, just because I don't like being repetitive and boring. It's not fun. So I have my lever closed right now. I started with it open, then dropped down and made it close. And now I have my 2. So the 2, we're pretty much doing the same thing. Start with it open and it fades right up into that 3, which is exactly what we wanted. So I saw some dark spots in the indentations in his head, so I grabbed my 1-guard, lever open, and I'm kind of just using like different sides of the blade. And we switched to 0.75 guard on this one. We just grabbed our 1/2 guard, but we started with the lever open. And then we closed it halfway and then fully closed. Using the corners and also the full blade. This is just preparing it, fading in between that 1-guard and that no lever, that no guard area. So once that's done, you're gonna wanna grab whatever clippers set the closest and just begin to take that bottom guideline out. I like to start with my lever fully closed and gradually open up notch by notch until I get to the top notch. That's just what works best for me. Now I'm just detailing with my 1. And for this side, it's going to be the same thing. I'll be back for the back. So for the back, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to drop it a little aggressively in the back just to complement his head shape. Now, if the back of his head was flat, we would just have made the fade straight across, but it isn't. So you want to drop it down, give it that round shape, complement the round shape. So we're going to go up with our calibers once again. And instead of waiting to get out that bottom guideline, we're just going to erase it, have my lever halfway, and then just close it. Just to save time since it was right there. Got my one guard going up about a full inch, kind of flicking out towards the top. You guys do have to understand that guidelines are a little harder to fade in the back. It's just naturally going to be harder to fade the back. Just because of the indentations of the head and the occipital bone. Now I have my 3 guard and I'm fading right into that 4. Then I switch to my 1.5. I'm being softer back here. Sometimes it could just cut harsher in the back for those reasons that I just listed. Switch to my 2, just flicking it out. Pretty simple, straight to the point. This time I grab my 0.75 guard, which is basically the Babblers half guard, just to soften it up before the actual half. So I have my 0.5 guard right now. Lever's fully closed. And then I just went ahead and skipped to my no guard lever open. It wasn't closed at first. I'm kind of playing with it halfway. I do close it in certain instances, but I'm just getting out that bottom line. And as you can see, it's faded. So to get started on his hairline, we're going to spray some hairspray first, just a little bit, and then follow that up with some water just to soften up his hair, because hairspray can make it too hard sometimes. It can make it unnatural. You want to add that water just to soften it up, lay it back down in its natural state while also letting it be held by the hairspray. So this is overhang. That's his bangs. So I don't want you guys saying, oh, you pushed him back. Every haircut's a pushback. You got to. But he has a nice full hairline, especially on this side. The other side kind of has a little light spot, but it's not bad. He definitely doesn't need enhancements. We're still going to enhance it anyways. So we're following up on this corner. When you do the corner, you kind of want to angle your clipper upwards a little bit. That way it can appear the hairline will be straight once you look at them from a dead on angle. So we're getting started on his vertical bars. Sometimes with vertical bars, I have to make my clipper like that, like kind of go up vertically with the blade sideways. Because especially with straight hair like this, you know, it's hard to catch the hair sometimes. We're making sure it's nice and crispy. Always want to make sure it's crispy before enhancements. You want to comb through it, brush through it. Make sure everything's nice in place before you start the enhancements. So for the enhancements, shout out Tomb 45. I'm using the No Drip dark brown, I believe. And I'm not spraying too much. It sprays heavy, which I kind of like. Yeah, so we're getting started on his beard, his goatee. Said he just wanted it shaped up, nothing too crazy. So that's what we're doing. Keeping it nice and simple. Gonna make his mustache nice and sharp, connected to the goatee. And then we're just going to use the shavers. You always want to consult your client to see if they can get the shavers, because sometimes they can't, and they'll know it too. A client will always remember if a barber made them get bumps, so they'll always know, typically. Now we're just detailing with our calipers. I really do like these clippers. The blade's like a surgical blade, kind of cuts very sharp. And now we're just gonna freehand trim the top. Now, although his texture isn't ideal for this technique, most textures can benefit from this. Obviously, if they have a comb over or something, you don't want to freehand trim the top. But if it's in a style that's being laid down like this, I recommend it. It works on most textures. So yeah, definitely a great finishing detail, just to show your clients that you're going above and beyond. But he paid me $85, I believe, for this haircut. So people pay for quality. This is how my client came into the shop. And this is how he's leaving. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow my Instagram and TikTok at The4th Ken. It's 4. I'm out. Peace.